Hey guys, and welcome back to Clannad. So we're just gonna jump right back into this. She looks at me as if she's surprised. It doesn't mean that she didn't understand what I meant by that, but it's more like she didn't hear me. Are you sure you don't want to try and join the drama club?
放課後は早く帰らないといけないか
I
ら。
have to come home early after school, so... I thought she'd say that. So I'm not really that disappointed. I took her out of the library and even made her meet Furukawa. I think the result is quite fair. It's just that Kotomi is really wishing for that, but she doesn't have any self-confidence. I see. Well, I won't ask for unreasonable things now. Without delay, I stop and stand still. Well, see you again. I hand over her bag.
ともやくん、
What is it?
えっと、
It seems that she's having trouble saying the words she wants to say. I think it's probably something hard to say. Do you want to walk together just a little bit?
うん、
I ask her instead. Yep. She's
もう
quite
少し
relieved
だ
as
け
she smiles.
一緒に歩きたい。
I want to walk with you, just a little bit more. She says that and stands beside me. And advance towards the sunset glow. Wavering around a detour, we continue on the exclusive residential district. Where did it path from? I don't know. Is your house that way?
うん、
Yep. Kotomi stayed silent most of the time, as if she was in deep thought for a while.
今日ね、
Today, herself, and it seems like she's finally going to talk.
今日ね、ちょっと怖かったの。
Today, I was a little scared.
初めて会った人と話をするときはいつもそうなんだけど、
So, I always feel like that when talking to someone I just met. But
でも渚ちゃん優しかったの。
Nagisa-chan is a kind person. I see. That's good to hear then.
渚ちゃんとってもいい人。
Nagisa-chan is a very nice person. She's definitely not a bad person.
団子大家族の絵とっても上手だし、
She's really good at making the big Dango family drawings. Well, she certainly is.
渚
Is
ちゃん、
Nagisa-chan... We stop at an intersection, and it seems that she's hesitating to say it.
渚ちゃん、ともやくんの
Is
恋人。
Nagisa-chan your lover? Huh? I end up making a stupid reply. Well, since I wasn't really expecting the word lover to come out from her mouth. She looks really confused with my reply. I haven't explained it to her, so that reaction might be natural. We're gonna tell her that she's got it wrong. You've got it wrong. That's what I say. Well, about Furukawa. She's a fellow tardy mate of mine, and you're my fellow skipper. I put my hand on her head. The round ornament on her head makes a sound as my finger touches it. That's why I thought you would get along with her. She looks straight at me. You want to be her friend too, right?
友
Friend.
達。
She murmurs the word as if it's her first time hearing it. Her eyes look like a kid who doesn't know anything. Yep.
うん、
Then she nods at me. Talking to strangers and getting used to it might be a little scary, but try to keep me company just like today's after school, since being always alone is not that much fun. I think that I'm saying something out of character. Standing at an intersection, I drop my gaze. Only a few minutes have passed, but I notice that our shadows have become longer. Well, which way are you going? While pointing with one hand, I ask Kotomi.
こ
I'll
こ
be
でい
fine
いの？
here. Your house is near, right? I'll walk you till we're there. I say that, but she slowly shakes her head sideways. It's
う
okay.
ん、もうたくさん
We've
話
already
せたか
talked a
ら。
lot.
続きは明日に
Let's
取っておく
continue
の。
tomorrow. She smiles at me. I see. If so, take care then. As I pass over the heavy bag to her, she looks at me one more time.
ともやくん、また明
Tomoya-kun,
日。
see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow too, Kotomi. I turn around and start retracing my path. And here we go into the illusionary world. If I could talk today. The girl created my body from junk. A piece fell off and stabbed the dead grass in this giant field, as if it were a corpse. Many corpses. Corpses of many different things. I trembled at the thought of it. That's what my body was. But this body was built entirely with this junk. I couldn't calm my shaking arm. If so, that means that she could create a doll with a will of its own, just like me. There was plenty of junk around if you bothered to look. As I'm sure she did for me, I begin to collect pieces of junk with my small body. The girl looks at me curiously. I put the junk together before her eyes. However, even if tightly assembled, it would come apart. The girl did the same, as if she finally understood my intention. This time it worked. She points at my body. Do you want a new body? I cross my arms to motion that I was fine with my body. A friend? Do you want a friend? It, that's not really it. I just thought that if we could create another like myself, we could probably have more fun. Well, the end result would be the same, so I nod. That's right. Being alone is sad, isn't it? I'm sorry. That was not what I meant. However, I could only look up at the girl's face. It might be impossible. Nevertheless, do you want to try? I nod. Then, let me try. The girl began to assemble the junk. We were a bit short on parts, so we went outside and searched for more. How many trips have we made? Thinking about it, I began to understand. Making my body must have been just as difficult. We went late into the day looking for junk. Standing on top of the hill, we looked over the horizon. The view of the ground continued on forever, to the far-off distance. I wonder what lies at the end. I compare myself with the grass around me. I couldn't figure it out with this small body. Look! When I turn towards her voice, I see she is holding a lone animal to her chest. Something other than us lives in this world. It had fluffy white fur and two winding horns next to its ears. I didn't like the sight of it. Just like a person, though I'm not a person myself, I wouldn't get along with it. In the first place, we didn't really care about it at all. Even then, the girl liked touching it. After picking it up, she pats its head and stomach. As she is doing that, she slowly climbs the hill. I follow after her. When we pass the hill, a group of these animals had formed. They vary in shape and size, but are all the same kind of creature. The girl put down the one she had in her arms. It doesn't look back, walking off and leaving us. I look at them and think, these things don't have a heart. All they do is exist. But even if it doesn't become attached to her, she just wasn't going to turn her back on the poor thing. Besides these things, she's the only living thing in this world. That's why the girl wanted to be able to touch the things she liked. As I watched them, the animals start to ruthlessly bite the flowers in the ground. If this sort of thing continues, this greenery will be destroyed. No matter how beautiful they are, no one would find this sort of situation amusing. I put the junk I was holding down onto the ground and drive away the animals by cutting through them. They show no resistance and scatter, only to begin eating the grass again. It was a futile move. What's wrong? Are you angry? The girl's voice came from behind. No, it's just sad. You want to be patted on the head? Well, sure, I'd like that, but I looked closely at the ground that had been mauled. She thought nothing of the damage that had been laid waste here. It's sad and lonely. She crouches down and brushes my head. I sort of understood. It can't be helped. There's nothing we can do about it. That's what she said. Yeah, it's something that doesn't change. That's all I could think of that. Alright, now we're going back to the real world. As always, I'm late. I sigh again. I climb up the empty slope. I make my way through the students standing around and talking towards my seat. I put down my bag and sit on the chair. And as usual, the seat beside me is empty. I spend my time staring out the window. And going through class. The bakery will open soon. I take a look at the teacher. He's focused on something on the blackboard and isn't noticing anything happening in my direction. It's my chance. I get out of my seat and crawl along the floor. I crawl until I reach the doorway. But this is where it becomes difficult. I have to slide the door open while making as little noise as possible, feeling the same sort of tension as if I were disarming a bomb. I pay attention to the work at hand. Somehow, it opens on its own. It seems like someone else had opened it for me. Still lying on the floor, I timidly glance up. Our eyes meet. Hey, Okazaki! I escape the classroom by a hair's breadth and break into a run as I enter the hallway. Why do you even come to school? I use all my energy to sprint while heartless jeers pouring at me from behind. Come to think of it, why do I even come to school? Someone, please tell me. I buy my bread without any interruptions and go up to the library. Opening the sliding door, I go inside. At the half-open window, a curtain flutters. Kotomi stands there, smiling, as though she had been waiting for me.
Tomoya-kun,
Hello,
konnichiwa.
Tomoya-kun. She holds a boxed lunch wrapper through her fingertips. It's smaller than yesterday's, but bigger than the one I had first seen.
今日はね、中華にしてみたの。
Today, I tried to make some Chinese food. As she says that, she opens the lid of the boxed lunch. Yakisoba, ebichiri, spring rolls, shumai, meat dumplings.
それでね、ご飯はエビとタケノコ入りのチャーハンなの。
Also, the rice is Chinese-style fried rice with shrimp and bamboo shoots, which actually sounds amazing. Ugh, I need to try and cook that sometime. Fried rice with shrimp and bamboo shoots sounds amazing. She points to each dish one by one and happily explains what they are. I'm hungry. Just let me eat for now. Sitting in a chair, I strangely start to feel like I'm back at my own house.
はい。智也くんのお箸。
Here's your chopsticks.
それで、これが私のお
And
箸。
here is mine.
手を合わせてください。
Please put your hands together.
いただきま
Let's
しょ
all
う。
eat. Yeah, let's eat. It's the same give and take as yesterday. The lunch for two slightly odd people begins.
おいしい。
Is it good? Yeah, it's great.
量、少なくない。
Is it too little? She asks nervously. No, this amount should be just fine. I answer as I check the side dish one more time. The amount of food is pretty scant, but the variety of the repertoire doesn't change from yesterday's. Wasn't making this kind of food hard?
そうでもないけど、
Well, not really, but
少しだけ作る方がかえって難しいの。
changing the recipe to make a smaller portion is a bit tough. I bet. Well, it just means it'd be better if there were more people. Kotomi stops using her chopsticks and looks at me. So, after school today, could you hang out with me again?
えっと
She slowly nods. For Kotomi, that couldn't have been an easy decision. So I talk about it in a relaxed tone. Alright, I'll introduce you to some friends. We're aiming for 100 friends.
友達100人。
100 friends? Her eyes widen.
ともやくんすごい。
Tomoya-kun, you're amazing. Sorry, but to be honest, I don't have that many friends.
ん
Well, don't look at me with the question mark in your serious face. You have to act as the Sukomi here.
はあツッコミ
No, it's fine. I was asking for too much.
ん
Here, I have some bread too. I turn my bag upside down and spread the bread on the desk. I tried to pick different ones than yesterday, so eat whichever one you like. Also, if you think they all look good, go ahead and eat them all. You don't have to leave any for me.
うん
She hits my hand.
なんでやねん。
The hell is this?
君とはやっとられんわ。
Like hell I want to be friends with you.
ほなさいなら。
Goodbye. Goodbye, Kotomi. I get up from my seat and briskly turn towards the door.
あ
Oh, Kotomi! Oh, my heart. Oh, that face. She frantically follows behind me barefooted. And then she grabs my sleeve cuff and stops me.
言っちゃダメ。
Don't go! She really seems like a little girl. I was just kidding, relax. I smile while saying this, as she gets a sour expression on her face.
ともやくんいじめっ子。
Tomoya-kun, you bully. All this is for your training. Get it, Katomi? In Tsukomi, timing is your life. If you're even a little late, no customers will come.
とっても難しいの。
This is very difficult,
でも頑張ってみる。
but I'll try my best. That's the spirit, Katomi. Together as the comedian couple, we'll fill up the Sutenkaku.
でも
But
通天閣は全高103メートルの観光タワーであって園芸ホールではなかったと思うの。
Sutenkaku is a 103-meter tall sightseeing tower. I don't think they had an entertainment hall.
地下1階にある歌謡劇場は原則として演歌専門だし、
On the singing theater in the first underground floor, it's typically a rule that only singing is permitted too. You really know a lot of boring stuff, don't you?
最上部のネオンを見ると明日の天気がわかる
If you
の。
look at the neon on the top, you'll know tomorrow's weather. Enough with this Sutenkaku trivia. Let's head back to our seats. She nods. Nodding in agreement, she does exactly as I say.
夫婦
Couple. Did you say something?
なんでやねん。
The hell is this? Stop using the same material.
うん、
Okay. Once again, we return peacefully to our meal. Opening the bag of roll cakes, Katomi starts talking.
本当はね、
To be honest,
とっても
I'm really happy.
幸せなの。ともやくん、私のために
I'm really happy that Tomoya-kun does so much for me. It's not a big deal.
そんなことないの。
That's not true at all.
どうしてっていうくらい
It
優
whoops.
しくしてくれるの。
It makes me want to ask why you're so nice to me. And then she stares at me as if I'm strange. Why, huh? I wonder why. Even if I don't really understand. But And this is where I'm gonna leave the episode. So sorry about the cliffhanger, guys, but I'm all out of time. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye-bye!